Hello everyone, welcome back to these Moonlight Pro League games. Welcome back to Zero Tolerance TV. I am ZT, your host, as always. As always, I know, this is like the 5th game, but you know what? Just accept it, okay? Just accept it. So after our heroic Zerg, Hyun, was taken down by Motive, he will now be playing... Yep, look at that, it's Scan. Now, Scan is a player, if you watch Artos' channel, you will be very familiar with. A great Terran. Not exactly the highest tier Terran, but he's one of those guys who can definitely break in, I think. He's quite close to becoming a really, really strong Terran. Even for the Korean scene, so yeah, he's been in ASL. He's been around. I believe he streams too. I don't know, I've never watched it. And he does cast for Starcast TV, I think it's called. So check those out if you want to watch the English broadcast of ASL, the nighted streams. He usually casts those with I think it's Gypsy. I don't actually know. It's somebody. It's another Terran. And this is Eclipse, by the way, so we see the usual Protoss gas steal. This map, it wasn't quite as well known when these games were played. These games are about 7 months old as I'm casting them. But this map is definitely Protoss favored. And we're seeing why right now. Oh wow, Scan is going double racks. Huh, okay. So if I'm Motive, I make a forge and a cannon, and then there's like literally nothing you can do. But I think the gas steal into forge is probably my favorite build on this map. It shuts down any sort of bioplay so hard, and actually, oh, Scan just cancels it. I think maybe he thought that there was a proxied gateway. And so he thought he needed 2 racks, and it actually just was at home. So a little waste of minerals there for Scan, but certainly nothing that the game ends over. His first Zealot is walking his way across the map. Still no Nexus here for Motive. Assuming he'll be putting that down pretty soon. Marine's starting to work on the assimilator, and it looks like Scan, well, he doesn't have much minerals, so we'll see what he does. He's not got any gas or anything though, so I don't know what he would really do other than make a command center here. Motive has started his Nexus, so it'll be a little bit ahead of Scans, but not a huge amount. And we're really just seeing why this map is favored for Protoss here a little bit. Scan, I think, thought he was getting proxied. But part of the reason he thought he was getting proxied is because we're on Eclipse and he had his gas stolen. So, being able to steal gas just allows you to dictate the game so much. And with that advantage here, Motive does have a quicker Nexus than Scan CC, but that's actually pretty usual for this matchup. So, perhaps a slight lead, but really nothing that's that bad. The Zell here checks out and just sees 4 Marines. He does not get to scout the CC, so I think Motive, you know, probably doesn't think... Well, he scouted that the second barracks was canceled, though, so I think he must just basically know. That's an interesting SimCity there from Scan. 4 Marines will own 1 Zealot, like really, really hard. 3 Marines need micro, but 4 Marines just shoot the damn thing down. Shoot him right dead. Let's see what's going on here. A second gateway in production, as well as a Dragoon. Just double pumping probes for Motive. If you look at the worker count, it is actually dead even right now. Slightly advantage for Motive. So this quicker Nexus didn't do a ton, but he is getting a little bit of a worker lead. These SCV will definitely not get a scout off unless Motive does the one thing that he did there, which is pull the Zealot out of position, but he does not let that SCV up, and I did just hear it die, so I think it probably got blown up by the Dragoon. Scan is starting a second fact in his main there. And range just now starting for Moto, so a little bit late. Maybe not late. I mean, there's nothing that he's super worried about coming from Scan right now. That pylon is just to scout for drops more than anything. This is not StarCraft 2. You cannot warp in your gateway units at any pylon. And this scout actually is going to get in. Thanks, Artosis. I definitely didn't care about that. Alright, looks like it was killed before it got any real information. Shuttle started from Motive. So what are you going to drop? Is this... You're going into Reavers or something? Observatory? Just gonna drop some Zealots, maybe? Taking out that egg just for some base circulation. I'm not really sure what's going on with Motive right now. I'm not sure what his plan is, but actually it looks like he's gonna dive on this bunker. SCVs do get pulled out in time to fight this, but you know, I think that was like 3 SCVs basically for like 1 Zealot. A pretty fine trade there for Motive, and Artosis points out, yeah, that is a pretty good worker lead now. 8 probes more than Scan's SCVs is a pretty substantial lead. I think Scan started a 3rd factory. One was still, or 2 of them are still making it. That first one should have finished by now. It's actually up to 4. So this is going to be some sort of push. Getting vulture speed, 2 Zealots loaded into that dropship. I think this is probably more to scout than anything. It's not generally going to be too much damage done just by 2 Zealots. You did see that he does have a robotic support bay finished, and shuttle speed is now started. Alright, dropping these Zealots off, let's see if they can get it done. Looks like they might get an SCV or 2. SCVs are so hard to kill in real life. And nothing. Alright, well, I mean, nothing lost, but nothing gained. So I guess it's a wash. Put some damage on the SCV, I suppose. This is something. Third Nexus is about to finish here. So I mentioned those probes are getting transferred pretty soon. And Scan is moving out. He's got... I'm not sure exactly how many takes. Free Vulture there, not exactly what he's looking for. Oh, okay, both Vultures actually end up getting caught. And really, I mean, their mines don't matter. Whether they laid them or not, it's pretty unlikely that the mines are relevant. Motive here jumping on top of these mines to kill them. Scan trying to cut off his units, but not quite able to. And Motive is just going to pick off a tank. Definitely worth trading 1 good for a tank. 2 now, but also got a Vulture. 2 Vultures. Not a bad trade here from Motive, I think. Scan is trying to cut off those Dragoons with some mines. Didn't look like he got any on there. Pulled into one, but actually ends up killing a Vulture and nothing else. Decent fight here. Yeah, and a nice mine jerk from that Zealot drop. A Reaver drop on top of these tanks too. Yeah, he's trying to target it down, but the Reaver is just getting micro and oh my god, Scan. I'm so sorry, my friends. This push did not work. He's going to lose all of his tanks here. More goons and not a Reaver in production. I thought he'd probably be making one, but not at this point. A Wraith? What is this? I mean, he's not going stealth, right? I mean, is this Cloak Wraith? We'll see. He's not researching it yet. Probably doesn't even have the tower for it yet. Motive now is pushing up to the natural here. Scan trying to get something done with these Vultures, but really just not a good angle for them to run in at. Motive trying to pick that Vulture off. Looks like he will get it, but taking a tank shot should definitely back out of range. Okay, but dropping the Reaver down, maybe he's trying to bust here. Oh wow, and he ends up killing off the tank there. Oh, of course, that's what the Wraith is for, to kill the shuttle, but I don't think it's going to matter. 2 Reavers get dropped out on top of these tanks. I think Scan is going to die here. And he has got not much to do
perhaps maybe he can kill these Reavers. They are walking down the ramp now to join back up with the Dragoons. Lots of SCVs going down right now. They're forced to fight these Protoss units. One of those Reavers is so low, 5 HP left. Worker count now, though, is getting a little bit bad for Scan. Looks like he's going to be able to pick off these Reavers. One more shot from that tank before it goes down. Okay, the Vulture does finish it off, so no more Reavers in this attack. Looks like Scan will survive to fight another day, but man, at what cost? He's getting doubled up in supply right now almost. 59 probes to 37 SCVs, and it looks like we're going to see some carriers from here. So I think this is a pretty safe choice from Motive. No, Narcosis always says, when ahead, get more ahead, right? So if that's the way it is, then I think carriers are pretty solid here. It's going to be pretty tough for Scan to kill him at this point with such a low CD count. Against Reavers, you really have to do some sort of timing push. The later the game goes, the better they are. Another tank getting picked off, though, so when is Scan going to be able to do that timing? He needs upgrades, which he doesn't have yet, and he needs more tanks. Actually, these gateway units are just going to come in here and fight the tanks as well. Zealot's getting dropped out. 2 more tanks on the high ground, but a Mind Dragon into them! A bunch of damage on there. And Motive is taking natural and the main right now. His Zealots are chasing down those tanks. It looks like they will take out at least that first one there. In the meantime, he's taking the bottom right. This is his 4th base and has 3 Stargate carrier producing right now. So this is looking really rough. 123 supply to 46. Scan is fighting it out, but this this is getting pretty close to some fantasy GG timing. It's getting a little bit bad here. I'm trying to think of ways Scan could win this game. I don't know. He'd have to blind predict carrier. There's no academy yet, so he can't even scout it. I guess. Okay. All right. No. He can scout it. He scouts it with the Wraith. This is pretty annoying actually for Motive. I do think the Wraith is able to DPS this down, and yet it's just barely damaging that cannon. Motive really should just start another one. He won't be able to kill both, and yeah, that is exactly what he does. Scan decides, it's not going to work out, and leaves. Was that a Reaver? I think that was a Reaver that just died. It sounded like a Reaver died. Something in Korean. No idea what that says. I used to be able to read Hangul phonetically, but I've forgotten at this point. And I guess that was actually the end of the game. Scan was definitely dead there. I think there was not much of a point in holding on. So that is it for that game there. We will have Motive taking on, I think, his 3rd opponent in the next here, and I hope you join us then.